we've become so overly stimulated from all social media, thinking it's the new norm, when in fact, you have been sucked into a system that has not only contaminated your thoughts, but your mental health is now on the edge of breakdown. Do you know why this happens? It's because we've allowed our minds to become in a space of openness without filtration, without any control. And then we lose the control of having control over what thoughts we keep and what thoughts we decide to let go of. Because now we've allowed the contamination of everybody's ideas and perceptions and this consistent cliche of beliefs that is now the new norm. Classic example is labeling. Everyone believes that narcissism is everywhere. They're all out there to get you, not realizing the true fact. We're all human beings. We all make mistakes. And yet we have to be labeled for our mistakes. And due to the labeling, we must conform to the idea and make decisions based on somebody's analogy. We've all been put into a box of rubbish. In my opinion, yes, there are certain processes that people are running that may fall under the categories of narcissism, abuse, lack of boundary settings, a lot of things. It's crazy, this world out there. Imposter syndrome, OCD, which is realistically OCB, obsessive compulsive disorder, is just an obsessive compulsive behavior. The question is, why is the human being doing what they're doing? Instead of judging them for their behavior, have you ever thought for a moment it's time for me just to sit with them and really check in? Are you okay? What is going on inside your mind? What are you lacking inside your heart? Or are you too busy judging based on everything that has not been filtered in your mind and is only being contaminated by everything that you are sliding through on social media? If you've fallen into that trap, you better watch your back, because it's going to hit hard when you start to make irrational decisions based on all this information that you are hearing. And the more that you like a specific video on social media, the more you're likely to watch something similar again. And all that is doing is conditioning you to believe a certain thing in a certain way only long enough before you make an irrational decision and you take steps in areas of your life that will conform you into a space of another box. I am not speaking to the ones that are being abused. Abused is not tolerated. Physical, verbal, and emotional abuse is not tolerated. But there is no need for labeling the type of abuse. It's time to actually check in and try to approach your partner, try to approach your spouse, your friend, the relationship that you're in, that you may be receiving this, or you may be delivering this. It's not about the labels. It's about checking in. What is going on? What brought me to this human being to begin with? This friend, this partner, this spouse. What's going on with my child? What's going on with me? It's not always about everyone else. Sometimes it's about us. Sometimes we need to stop playing the victim card. Sometimes we also need to stop being the prosecutor in every story. And we sometimes need to also stop rescuing and just remove ourselves from the triangle and observe things from the outside inward, without judgment, without criticism, and for heaven's sake, without labeling. Really look inwards. What is going on? When did these behaviors show up? Don't look at them as red flags. Look at them to try to understand that human being. You might be the person that will transform their life. And if you don't, if they're falling under one of these labels that are no longer within your mindset and boundaries, and you haven't been contaminated by social media and the new norms of what they've built to conform us into a box, then you got yourself a good deal, because now you're discovering who you are. Amidst all the chaos, amidst all the outer sounds that have been coming towards you and consistently trying to condition you to most likely become something you are not. Look inside yourself. Check in. Have you been contaminated? Have you been overridden with all this information that now you don't know if your thoughts are your thoughts, or they've been someone else's thoughts that has conformed within yourself because of all the flickering? Check in. Check in with the person that's in front of you. And let's stop labeling. Let's start listening. Let's start questioning. And let's give back love, because that's what the world needs. That is the only thing that we are missing, is love. And from my heart to yours, as always,